Hello and welcome to Cosmo Muse Tarot. This reading, we are going to do a glow up reading, and when I do these glow up readings, my intention is for them to be sort of this beautiful, wise understanding or just essence coming off of us that we arrive into within the next week to 10 days. So something that's like right on the horizon. And this week we are going to, I kind of felt called to the Priestesses of Light deck as kind of the anchor for this glow up. So what kind of like priestess energy are you arriving into that is like awakening or just leveling up in you? So we're going to pick 3 different piles, and you are more than welcome to pick multiple piles if you feel called to do so. Okay, so we've got death and rebirth. We've got duality, feeling this one too, and we've got careful optimism. Okay, beautiful. Those feel very diverse, so I like that. All right, so just again, pile 1, we've got death and rebirth. Pile 2, duality. Pile 3, grateful optimism. Pause here if you need some time to sort of fill into these priestesses, the number of the pile, the image, whatever it is that kind of speaks to you. And when you're ready, timestamps will be in the descriptions, and I will see you in your reading or readings if you do multiple. All right, see you guys. Hello, pile 1. Welcome to your glow up around kind of a priestess quality that is coming into a greater sense of essence or vibrancy or awakening, in general, just like really turning on for you. And we have the Priestess of Death and Rebirth. It says darkness to light. And I definitely like that priestess quality. I definitely feel as more of like this role you take on in the world. So it's sort of like this energy people are reading off of you, like how you're showing up, what people go to you for, what kind of guidance they're looking to you for. And so having this kind of death and rebirth priestess showing up for your glow up is like this, I don't know, coming into this potent stability, really knowing what it means to go through darkness and how to do that effectively in order to reach the light. And so you may find people coming to you that have some heavier things that they are needing help with, or needing to just reflect with somebody, but it could be, for some of you, maybe you are guides of some sort. So professionally, you may also be finding people coming to you with wanting some guidance of how to move through some sort of shadows that they're walking through. But there's something that like you're feeling confident in with this, that you're feeling stable in, of like how to help people move through, some shadow territory, some darker territory, and that by doing so, you do reach the light, you do reach inner light, you do reach, an ability to transmute things and resurrect things, and really come into some empowerment and some releases and some healing. So something in you is really turning on, and whether you feel that specifically or not, you may start to notice people really coming towards you, seeking your wisdom around, transformation and transmutation and alchemy and psyche work, that kind of stuff. Okay, let's get an angels and ancestors card to add to this. Protection, guardian, drop your shield. So I feel like, so this is meant to show kind of like protect, you know, like other realm guides around you that are supporting you as you show up in a certain role to support others. And so you have this protection guardian around you, drop your shield. And this guardian also loves to really show up with a sense of presence and performance and really shine its light. So there is this thing around you where it is okay to show up in a way that is bold, in a way that you are like very seen for your death and rebirth priestess capacity. It's okay to show that, you know, like for some of the priestesses, you may more subtly draw people in, but for you, it's okay to really just stand in that and claim it and own it. And like, yeah, I have this like very esoteric power. I have this potency within me. I'm not scared to show that. I'm not scared to claim it. And this is saying that you are protected to do that. It's okay to drop that shield and to really allow that to be seen, or allow this power in you to be seen, because you are being protected. And more than protected, like urged to step into your light in this capacity. Yeah, very cool. Okay, let's get just a few tarot cards. These glow up readings are usually pretty quick. I like to keep them around the 5 to 10 minute mark. So just kind of a top level look at what's going on. But yeah, let's pull some tarot cards as well here. Whew. We've got the Star. Yeah, I mean, I think that you're really, and then the Hermit as well. I do want to pull one more, but let's hold off for just a second. Yeah, I mean, I think that you really are finding your instinct. You're finding a new belief in yourself. You're finding a new, potentially even direction. Like how you're able to show up as this sort of priestess that can help people through difficult things, through shadowed territory is like, I don't know, you may, this recognition of this and this new willingness to like really be seen in this could be directing you towards new types of futures, towards new visions, at least, of what you could do with that in your future. And really coming into your own instinct with this, a way you do it that's really specific and particular to you, and finding a sense of purpose in that too, a sense of your own rhythm and system and purpose and skill and instinct in this that is your own, that's not replicable. And you don't get to the Hermit until you've already been through a lot of training and a lot of effort and a lot of work on this. So I would imagine most people that came here, this resonates deeply for you. I think you've probably already put a lot of work into like really walking through your own shadows, examining your own psyche, going through the dark things to come into, breaking down to break through. Some of you have maybe also trained in this in some professional capacity, or you've done this, people naturally tend to come to you in your communities and friends and families and whatever. And maybe you're starting to recognize there's something to that. And now you're starting to decide like, oh, I should do something more specific with this. So whatever resonates to you, it doesn't have to be like a professional thing, but there is something you're really identifying though in a way this is supposed to be used in your life as some kind of purpose. Okay, last tarot card. Ace of Air. Yeah, there's some kind of new, I don't know. Be open to a new idea, a new download, a new brainstorm, a new partnership, a new direction of some offer, contract. I don't know. There's something new coming, and with the Pegasus on this, it is like you're ready to take flight. You're in your power. You're feeling capable and strong and confident. So yeah, whatever that Priestess of Death and Rebirth, darkness to light means to you, it's time to kind of unleash it in like a more specific and purposeful way, for sure. Okay, that's where I'm going to leave you guys. I hope this resonated. If so, always appreciate the likes and shares and subscribes. And yeah, good luck with this, and I hope to see you in future readings. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your Priestess of Light Glow Up. You guys chose this duality priestess, many meanings, misunderstanding. And I know, if I recall correctly, which I'm like 99% sure that in this deck, this card was meant to represent Mary Magdalene. And so how I'm feeling this for you guys in terms of like, you know, so a priestess to me is more of like a role we hold in the world. It doesn't have to be like a professional role, but there's something that like you hold a certain capacity that other people will come to you because of. And so choosing this duality card, there's something that you've really come into, I feel like some kind of mastery that is integrating, that's really like leveling up in you right now in terms of just like really owning, like being able to break the mold and own your particular craft, your particular originality and uniqueness unequivocally, like unapologetically and unequivocally, which can be a very bold thing to do, especially if we're breaking molds, breaking out of tradition and norms. And that can leave one open to a lot of projections, which bring a lot of misunderstandings and misinterpretations and, you know, false histories and all the things. But there's something in you that is like above that, that is above people's projections, that is above pettiness, that is above having to fit in any particular way. And I think you're really finding your strength and being able to show up in your way of breaking the mold, in your way of being an original, in your way of claiming what is authentically you. Some kind of archetype in you that is very authentic to you that may not be accepted by everyone in a traditional capacity. But with this glow up, I think that you're getting through those like my sense of this is like maybe that's sort of naturally your essence and naturally what you do. And so in your life, or since you've been working on this priestess quality, there's maybe been a lot of misinterpretation of what you're doing or who you are. But with this glow up, I think people are actually starting to see their false projections and false projections that were placed upon you because you stuck in there, because you weren't swayed by those assumptions and projections and whatever they were, and you really just kind of stuck to who you were and have like been through the fires of that in some way. And so people may, because I think those illusions around you are starting to drop and you're starting to like really be seen in the power of what is really you, and why you are who you are. I think people may be starting to look up to you in a certain way of like, wow, they really did something there. They really are someone. They really are special. And so how does one stand in this place where a lot of different meanings and misinterpretations and variations are placed upon them, and come out the other side of that still in their own grounding, still in their strength, still in their authenticity? How do I stand in my authenticity that way when it might be scary to show the full spectrum of who I am? So you may, I don't know, it's like, I think you're coming into like almost like a fan base of people of like wanting to know how you did that, wanting to find the courage to stand in their own sort of like, stand in their own power in a way that's unapologetic, in a way that challenges and pushes limits and will be up for scrutiny, that will be picked apart. So I mean, like, it wouldn't surprise me. I highly doubt there are politicians or celebrities or who knows, whatever else, people in public positions that come here. But there may be, you know, the people that those of you that are at this pile may resonate with that like you understand how a lot of celebrities or politicians are misinterpreted and given sort of personas that aren't always accurate and whose words do get taken out of context. And yeah, there's something you understand about that type of thing and how to move through that gracefully and how to stand strong in your truth and do that thing that you know you're meant to do, that's like your calling, even if it means kind of walking through the fire. But it's like, yeah, because you've stayed the same against all the meanings placed on you, against all the dualities and misrepresentations and all the things placed upon you, you've stayed the same the whole time, and those things fall away really quickly. They come and go, and so over time people do see the real essence. And I feel like you're coming into that where people are seeing your real essence, and now they're like, well, how do I do that? Or there may be specific people that are like, oh, I feel like I'm sort of in the journey that maybe they've come through. And so like there's guidance maybe this person can give me. There's wisdom maybe they have. Or maybe that thing that it is that you've stayed strong in and been unapologetic about that's the thing people are now seeing and want from you. Rather than how you got through all the many projections and meanings and misrepresentations. yeah, like some people may want to know how you did that and want guidance for themselves. And some people, now that they see who you really are or what this thing in you really is, with all those false overlays kind of having dissolved, being like, oh, that's actually super cool. I would like to know more about this thing, about this person, and understand that. And yeah, so however, one or both of those for sure. I think a lot of you, it's probably both of those coming through. Okay, so glowing up and having come through, standing strong in something very original about you, and now being seen more accurately, more truthfully, because you've kind of weathered it. You've outlasted the projections and the illusions around you. So that's something about you that you've worked hard on and that you can now really stand in a certain greater command and light, that others are attracted to, that others want to come to you for. So I want to see what guides are there for you as you are being asked to be there for others in this glow up. What guides are there for you? And we've got the Hermit, retreat and recharge, which is interesting because this Priestess almost looks like she's like in a cave or something. I think that you do almost have, like Mary Magdalene, maybe like some preaching, some like deep wisdoms that are sourced from something very sacred and spiritual, that take kind of that reclusive energy to, and we see her reading or studying or even writing. So it may be like giving yourself permission to go into deep study, or giving yourself permission to write your things, to write about this, to create some kind of work, or to just be allowed to dive into your thing without being bothered anymore, without being questioned anymore, with a certain acceptance and reverence by others. Like, oh yeah, let them, dive deep into their thing. It's very cool. Or it could be that you're recording what you know to share. But there is something about like going more into, this protective and guardian energy is like wanting to give you some space to do whatever it is you need to do, whether it's like going further into your study or creating something to share out of what you know. But my sense here is that, like, yeah, people are more like the glow up you're coming into. Some people may want to study under you or learn from you, but there's also this respect of like, give them space, like what they do is sacred. So give them space to be in that deep place, because that's where this stuff is sourced, or that's where they can create the thing that they actually need to share. So I do feel a duality of like energies coming towards you. There's still a lot of duality around you, but it's in a much more leveled up, true, positive way, where it's like, yeah, there is this fan base now and they want to learn from you, but they respect your space. They respect that what you do requires some hermitage. And that comes with the territory of what that special thing is that you've really stood the test of time with here. I'd love to hear in the comments what this means to some of you. But it does feel like very spiritual people, very intellectual people, people that have deep practices might be here. Okay, so we're going to get a few tarot cards just to get a little more information. 5 of water. Yeah, I mean, you have been through the fires with this. I think you've stayed true and strong in something specific about yourself, or maybe you've lost people in your life, or maybe whatever you've stood strong in has deepened due to losses you've experienced in life. But those losses were a part of adding depth and character to whatever you're standing in, adding wisdom to whatever it is that you've really stood the test of time with and are coming out the other side more respected in. But yeah, part of the curriculum of getting to this glow up and really like being able to claim your position with acceptance and honor was to go through a lot of grief, to go through a lot of losses, to go through unattachment, to learn about attachment. Ten of Fire. Yeah, you've held a lot. It's been a big journey you've been on. I feel like if you're here, you probably know what I'm speaking about. I don't think it's going to get more specific as to like what this thing is that you're standing in and that you've really weathered and held the test of time in, because it's probably really specific to each of you. But it's been a long journey. And you've completed a long journey and you're now standing. I mean, this does show like you've completed the journey. Or you're like a step away. You're a week or 10 days away from completing this journey where you're now going to be like seen as a sage in some way, as an experienced one, as someone that's really weathered something and developed something and secured just position through having gone through it. Okay, last card. Two of Air. Yeah, I mean, two sides to this. I think it's been a balancing act. I think you've had to find the ways in which you hold true to who you are, while not alienating yourself. But now coming out the other end of this, you've found a certain grace of like really knowing how to bridge things, how to bridge worlds, how to bridge people, how to bridge minds, but not through a sense of persuasion or force or exerting influence. It's through just like a resonance you hold that's very elegant, that's very balanced, that is very learned how to be both light on your feet, but beautifully on your feet, like a there's like a swan energy coming through here. Yeah, where it feels like, when you first started standing and whatever you've gone through, a lot of journey and testing that wasn't always accepted and misinterpreted and, all the things we've talked about, it could have made you see yourself as an ugly duckling in some ways. But like all you've been through now, you're coming out as that swan. You're coming out the other side, having developed, having gained character, having held fast to your personal growth and the growth of some calling. And you've weathered grief and loss. You've weathered ups and downs of a whole journey. You've integrated wisdoms. You're now a sage, but that sage is very swan-like. It's very elegant. It's very light on your feet, but profound, like not, there's gravity there, but a lightness there at the same time. And there's resonance, and people just want to watch. You don't have to try and exert control or force or persuasion or influence, because you're just drawing attention by the way you're holding yourself. Yeah, so really beautiful glow up here. Kind of profound and amazing, because I definitely feel like you've been through quite a journey to get here. So yeah, congratulations, I guess, on that. All right, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. If this resonated, I always appreciate support with likes, shares, subscribes. Always grateful for kind and thoughtful comments as well. And I will see you guys in future readings. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your Priestess of Light glow up. So the way I see this, like the priestess energy, is more of kind of like a role you stand in, or some kind of more archetypal energy you're seen in the world. And so coming into a glow up in this would mean that you've probably done some work here. So my sense is people that are drawn to specific piles will probably connect pretty quickly with what I start talking about and like recognize these things in themselves. And so I hope as we go through the reading and tapping into like things you've put effort into, you're able to really see and recognize the amount of effort that has been given to things in your life, and how that should be recognized by you first, like how you should congratulate yourself and acknowledge feeling your glow up and respecting who you are and how you're showing up. So for you guys, the priestess that you picked is grateful optimism, joyous view of the future. So definitely something that is starting to really level up in you, that you've probably really worked hard on, is like how to cultivate sort of an air of encouragement. So you may be someone who encourages others often and really works to motivate and energize and inspire others, even when you're feeling down yourself. And my sense is like sometimes it's harder to do that for ourselves than it is to do for others. And I feel like your glow up that you're coming into is learning how, like you're leveling up and knowing how to better notice. Sometimes we aren't even aware that we're not doing it for ourselves. Better being able to notice how you do and don't do this for yourselves, and better attend to that. And it's making you even a greater motivator, a greater encourager, because you're coming from a place where you're really respecting yourself and trying to give yourself affirmations and mottos and whatever the things you need to encourage yourself, and like really feeding yourself the way that you tend to feed others. And paradoxically, that just brings a greater light to the kind of encouragement that you can bring others. And so part of what's happening with the glow up here, and like really doing this better all around holistically for yourself, for others, is starting to see the future for yourself, for humanity, for specific individuals in a much more luminous way. And that's so attractive. Like anyone who can see their future beautifully, who can see the future of humanity beautifully, and who can see, if someone I was talking to all of a sudden started talking about the way they see my future beautifully, I would be like, more and more like, yeah, thank you. What else, right? So I feel like it's just like a very attractive quality coming on, starting to integrate in you of like how to, just like in a much more holistic, all around way, be this kind of motivator and encourager of self, others, the world, whatever it is. So really beautiful stuff. Okay, so I wanted to use this Angels and Ancestors deck to show you what kind of support system is behind you, because as the Priestess, there's like a role you take up, and this is showing how others may be drawn to you and wanting your attention and wanting your help and guidance. And so who's helping you, right? I mean, in this reading, we're seeing that you're giving yourself some love, so that's great. But what else is supporting you? What else is there behind the scenes, acting as a support to you, being your external motivator and encourager as well? Oh, I love that. Wise one. Grow within your current situation. Beautiful. So I definitely just imagine like grandmother quality, crone quality. If you have a grandmother, a mother, a great grandmother that's passed that you had a strong connection with, or feel some sort of curiosity about for some reason, they're definitely there. If that's not something that pops up for you, there is some kind of like, this feels to me more like an ancestor than an angel. There is some kind of crone, sage, elder, wise one woman in your ancestral line, even if that was 20 generations, 100 generations back. There's someone watching you. There's someone that's very wise, that's very invested in your personal growth, in you being the best version of you that you can be, and wanting you to be someone that people can come to for also that kind of assistance, because I think they're invested in this as like an ancestral trait, and they want this to be fostered in their ancestral line. And they've chosen that you're, they've really identified you as someone that in their ancestral line that carries the same qualities that they have. So, way down the line, when you pass on, this is like you could be this for someone else too in your ancestral line. That's what this feels like. Yeah, really gorgeous. Okay, so let's get a few tarot cards to just get a little bit deeper into this. Ten of Water. Yeah, you're coming into a real flow of being able to hold some complexity around. I mean, honestly, if I were coming to this to choose a pile, I doubt I would end up with this pile, because this is like thinking about the state of the world right now. It's so hard to think about it optimistically. It's so hard. And I'm like, well, I want to meet you guys because I need I need your priestess energy in my life. I don't think this is me. And I'm seeing, so 10 of Water showing up is showing that you guys are really capable of holding the complexity of the moment, whether that's in your own personal community or the world in a larger sense, or in your workplace and industry, wherever it is where you feel, you are really starting to shine in your ability to motivate and encourage. There's some capacity that you've developed to really hold some complexity in that and being able to be still centered and calm in that complexity, and hence being able to hold things very calmly. You bring things into harmony that just to others might feel magical, might feel like you're a wizard of sorts. Okay, let's get another page of air. You have a lightness with this too. At least it's coming on. You know how to introduce new possibility, how to inspire others to think in very fresh ways, think in very I don't know, just like how to open minds and be open-minded about very different ways of seeing the future, of finding optimism. It's like you're able to kind of like flip things on their head so that like totally new, fresh ideas are able to enter. That feel like they're filled with possibility because there's no overlay on them yet. There's no norm for them yet. Yeah, look at this, another page and Page of Water, and it really restores people's you're really able to like restore like some emotional peace, bring a calmness of feeling, open minds to totally new conceptions and concepts. Because you're able to hold complexity in a certain way, you can introduce radically different things that shake people out of patterns and habits and awaken them to very different possibility. Wow, it's really a beautiful gift that you've been developing and that's coming into a glow up. And I would imagine, I felt it, so that's why I came here. I don't know why I said I imagine. I feel that ancestor is like really proud of you right now. Really like, yeah, you're getting it. Good job. That's what feels like is coming through there. Okay, so sort of a quick reading for you guys. That came out pretty clear and straightforward and simple, which always, I don't know, sometimes when it's like really clear and straightforward and simple, it's sometimes like holds more gravity too sometimes, and I feel that like this is just like, this is strong, right? So yeah, good on you guys. Enjoy this glow up. Really own giving your own self encouragement. That's part of what's feeding this glow up. But yeah, I don't know. You got this. That was the ancestor again. You've got this. Stop listening to this dumb tarot reader. She's rambling. That's all you need to know. You've got this. All right. Okay, if this resonated, always appreciate support, likes, shares, subscribes. Always grateful for kind and thoughtful comments. But in general, thank you for letting me read for you. I love doing it. So thank you for being here, and I hope to see you in future readings.